me tell this embarrassing story. And I don't know why she's making me tell it, but it's my little, I guess you can say, account of what happened in Mississippi. I'm from Mississippi originally. And so in Mississippi, even today, it's very strange for us to see couples that are African American and Caucasian, black, white, any kind of mixture of races. It's very strange, in Mississippi. And if you go to the mall today and you see a couple that's, biracial and multicultural, you'll watch everybody watch them walk the whole way down the mall. So, understanding that, my grandmother at the time, years ago, it was about 15 years ago, may she rest in peace, she had never had a Caucasian or white person in her house ever. Maybe the mailman, but no one else. So my cousin, I'm very fair-skinned. I think my mother is probably about Colleen's color. So my mom, back in the civil rights day, she passed, even though she was married to an African-American man, whatever have you. And so sometimes I'm mistaken for being biracial or whatever have you. But at my grandmother's house, she never had any whites there or anything. So my cousin, who's very, very fair-skinned, again, he's about maybe Colleen's color with green eyes and whatever have you. He decides he's going to bring this girl home. He has a new girlfriend. And she's a white girl, a Caucasian girl. So my grandmother's panicking. Lord, why he bringing this girl here? I don't understand. Lord, Jesus. What do white people eat? So she's like researching and she's calling them, everybody, thinking, no, they're white people. What do they eat? And so she's cooking these foods. I'm not quite sure what she was in there cooking or whatever have you. So my grandmother has 32 grandchildren. Yeah, I know. She has 32 grandchildren, and I think probably about 19 or 20 of us was there for this, because we just knew it was going to be hilarious anyway. So she has a 3-bedroom small house, and we're all kind of just sitting there like, oh, she's coming to the house, this is going to be funny. She's like, tuck your shirt in, do this, do that, sit down, straighten that out, come on, y'all, make it look white in here. And so my cousin comes in, and he has this beautiful girl, beautiful, beautiful girl. And she comes in, and when she walks in the door, she kind of looks at us and goes, okay. And so we go on. We thought we had done a great job. She ate, she talked, but she kept looking at us like we were a little strange. And so everything went on wonderful. She left, they left, and Grandma was like, all right, everything's back to normal. We're back black again, I guess. And so my cousin calls back a couple hours later, and he says, she broke up with me. And we were like, why? What'd we do? He said, we got in the car, and she starts going, oh my God, you're black? Oh my God, I thought you were white. You're black? So she broke up with him. But that's horrible. But I'm going to speak to you today. So now I can begin my speech. Okay. Today, as we celebrate diversity and acceptance of all different cultures that make up our society, I am led to speak to you today on a topic I call, There is a Price for Freedom. I had written a whole different speech last week that I was going to do tonight, and God woke me up at 10 o'clock last night and was like, you're not going to do that. So he made me go a whole other direction. Now, in order for you to understand my viewpoints, let me tell you about one of my heroes. My hero, at the age of 5 years old, was Harriet Tubman. And so when I was 5 years old, I heard about this lady who went to the north and was free, but she would come back and get others that weren't free and take them back to the north. And she did this 13 times. And for those who she didn't free, she taught others how to free them so that they could come back. And I thought this was cool, that here is this slave who did this. And so at 5 years old, that was my hero. So you would see me in the backyard with my bandana on, leading my cousins to freedom. And with my mom being so fair-skinned, she didn't really appreciate the fact that she was like the master of the plantation and all that kind of stuff. And she didn't think it was funny at all. But I would have my bandana on, and I would be leading my cousins through the little woods in the backyard. I'm leading them to freedom. And so, as I got older, this game that I used to play became my heart's desire. I am one who believes in leading the captives to freedom. So, let me tell you what Harriet Tubman taught me. And hopefully, not only can we be set free, but we can go back and get those who are not. Harriet Tubman taught me to be unselfish. Just Just because I am free does not mean that I should be satisfied that only I am free. The song says, if I can help someone along the way, then my living shall not be in vain. It is important that once we are free, that we go back and get others so that they may be free as well. For example, freedom can represent salvation. As Christians, we are charged that we continue to minister to others so that they may be free, even though we are redeemed already. It is ludicrous for a few of us to be free and live in a community that is in bondage. I got a call yesterday from 3 young men that were at my business waiting for me. I went to see what they wanted, and they were 19, and I think the other were like 16 and 17. And they had been referred to me by another young man who I had bailed out of jail. I'm starting to kind of get used to that now. But I had bailed him out of jail, and I had given him a job in my business. So they were there to talk to me, wanting to put their lives on track and everything. And one of them said to me, Miss Jackie, if I could find something to do with my life, I could stop selling dope. And so I told him to pull his pants up and turn his hat to the front and stand like a man. And next Wednesday, have your resume to me. Let's see what we can do for you. We're going to put them on the campaign trail. We're going to make them captains to get them to put on their resume. See, I like to talk the talk, but I also like to walk the walk. We have to reclaim our youth. But people, there is a price for freedom. Harriet taught me that adversity is an opponent, but it's one that can be defeated. In life, we want to be accepted, we want to be loved, we don't like to be different. Sometimes so much so that when we see things are wrong, we are afraid to step out and make it right. It can create enemies, and you may have to sacrifice a lot, but I challenge you to look at the bigger picture. I was once told by a wise man, my pastor, that God created me to solve a problem. I believe He created each of us for a purpose, and it is not until we begin to work in our purpose that our lives become worth the living. It was not my desire to run for House of Representatives. As a matter of fact, as the daughter of one of 2 African-American senators, out of 52 senators, my dad was only one of 2 blacks. I had seen enough adversity. I had decided that politics was not going to be something I wanted to do. But with that mantle of Harriet Tubman, and with she being my hero, I must go back and give my fathers, my mothers, my sisters, and my brothers, regardless of the threats and naysayers. But my friends, there is a price for freedom. Harriet Tubman taught me that it's important to have faith. The amazing thing about Harriet Tubman is she couldn't read. But scholars think that because she could not read, that is what saved her life. You see, the signs may say go this way, so of course the masters and everyone that's trying to kill her are waiting over here. But she couldn't read the sign, so she went the other way. So it was actually her inability to not read that a lot of people believe kept her from getting caught. Many said she used the northern star to guide her because she looked up. I believe she was looking up to God. The northern star can have given her the mercies and the graces and all of the miracles. The northern star can have done that. I believe that she was looking to God. And so as I begin on my journey, I too must look to God. But yes, there's still a price for freedom. Last but not least, Harriet Tubman taught me that it is important for all of us to work together.